In today's video, I'll show you a full breakdown on how I edit my cinematic videos with the Mavic Air 2, so you can also create something like this. What's up everybody, this is Mike. Welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are doing well and I hope you enjoyed that intro. Let me know if you did by clicking on the like button right now, and make sure you subscribe if you want to see more Mavic Air 2 content. So now I will break down this footage that you just saw and I'll show you how I cut it, how I edit it, how I speed ramp it, and how I add this little drone supremacy touch to it. But before I do that, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey, with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people on topics including illustration, design, photography, video, editing, freelancing, and more. Members get unlimited access to thousands of classes with hands-on projects and feedback from a community of millions. Most classes are under 60 minutes with short lessons to fit any schedule. A class which I took recently is by Chris Burkert and it's called Outdoor Photography, shooting at sunrise, sunset and night. This class is allowing me to make the most out of my gear, and it's also teaching me what settings are the best to be used during those different times of the day and night. So if you want to get into editing, learn more about photography, or pretty much any other online skill, you will find it on Skillshare. The first 1,000 of my subscribers who click the link in the description are going to get 2 months for free of Skillshare Premium, so you can start exploring your creativity today. So here we are in Final Cut Pro 10, and I just want to start off by saying that you don't have to use Final Cut Pro 10. This is just my personal preference about the software that I'm using for editing. You can use pretty much any video editing software. The procedures, the operations that I'm doing in this tutorial are not Final Cut Pro specific, so you can replicate everything that you want in pretty much any video editing software. So first I want to start with the project size, and this is purposely set. It's a custom project size that I have selected, 3840 by 1920 at 30 frames per second. And if you notice, it's a bit wider, and that is just because I am making these edits so they can fit on a phone pretty well. Most of my viewers on YouTube are watching the videos on their phones, so this size here, 3840 by 1920, is giving me the best aspect ratio for watching on a mobile phone. Something else before I get to the edit itself is that I'm using proxies to edit my footage, and that allows me to edit a lot faster, because proxies are pretty much lowering the size and are making your files less heavy, so you can edit them quicker. And the quickest way to make a file, a proxy file, is to right click on it and go to transcode media and select this proxy media checkmark. Now it's not available because we are already in proxy mode. As you can see, we are here in proxy, and editing in proxy mode is a lot easier. The first thing which I usually do before I start my edit is picking the right track to go for my edit. And here I have selected Halo by Elliptic, and it's a track that I found on Epidemic Sound. I use Epidemic Sound for royalty-free music and sound effects for all of my videos for the past 3 years maybe, so I'm using them. I love their service and I highly recommend them. I have a link in the description that gives you 30 days of free trial for Epidemic Sound if you want to check it out. But other than that, you should just focus on finding the right track that goes well for the edit that you have in mind. So here I went for a very fast-paced, quick edit with lots of cuts and lots of movements, so I can grab your attention, keep it, and just show you as many different perspectives and angles as possible. This is just my style. I love fast-paced edits, and I think they are a lot more interesting to watch compared to boring long shots that just drag your attention away slowly but surely. So this is the main reason why you can already see some sped up clips and a lot of speed ramping as well. This is part of my editing style. This is something that I like. It's not mandatory for you to use any of this. I'm just sharing how I do things. For this specific edit, I didn't find the need to use any sound effects except for one, which you will see when we get to that point. But normally I use a lot of sound effects also from Epidemic Sound, just so I can spice up my footage and make the whole edit come together, come to life. For this track, it doesn't need any effects. It's overpowering, so it doesn't need anything else. So let's start with these clips, and I'm going to remove the layers of the music actually, so you can focus only on the video side of these clips. One thing I forgot to mention is about those little purple markers that you see on the track. I add these purple markers every time I feel there would be a great time to switch to another shot, and in most cases the best time to put these markers is when the beat drops. A simple way to add markers is just by pressing M on your keyboard in Final Cut Pro 10, and this will give you an idea when you should switch to another shot. So first, as you can see, I'm starting with some revealing shots, and let's focus on this one because it's 200%, so it's double the speed. And for this type of shot, which goes in a spiraling move upwards, I like to speed them up a bit because normally you cannot go too fast with your drone while doing this maneuver, and by speeding it up you are also revealing a bit more from the location. I think it's a better way of showcasing the location by speeding up your footage a little bit. Just make sure there are no cars or people passing by, so the viewer will not be able to distinguish that it's a sped up clip. I think this is a little trick that you always have to be careful about. Here I'm making this speed ramping so I can emphasize on this location and this dam or lake, whatever you want to call it, and it's a really easy way to emphasize on a location and make it go together very well with the track. So let me just duplicate this clip so I can show you how I did it. Speed ramping is something that I do almost all the time, and I just love doing it. So as you can see, the clip that I'm working with is 19 seconds long, and if I want to showcase that whole clip, it's 19 seconds. It's far too much time for just one shot. And this one that I edited is 1 second long. So as you can see, it makes a huge difference. So for me, I wanted to speed up the first portion of that video, something like this maybe. And to do that, you only need to click on the clip itself and Shift and B, and that creates a little marker right here. So that means that this portion right here, we can control how quick it's going to run. And I'm going to click on fast and speed it up by 20 times. And if you do that, you immediately see that it actually speeds up the footage and then it slows down to normal. And that's a really cool way. Actually 20 times it's not enough. We can click on custom, and then these percentages we can change them. Let's go to 5000%, and as you can see, we already have something very usable and a lot better than just using the regular clip, which is too long. So as you can see, this clip is now 1 second long, and it's sped up in the first portion of the video, and then it continues with the normal speed. I think this is very important to showcase the normal speed as well, otherwise it's just too quick and the viewer does not understand what's going on. So you have to have a slower portion in the video as well. Anyway, this is how I speed ramp my clips. And again, the next one is at 400%, and it's also reversed. So this is the original clip, and I was going down. I was lowering my altitude, and I figured for this edit it might be a better idea to actually go the other way around. So it's something that I did. I just went and clicked reverse clip, and then I sped it up by clicking to 4 times. And there you go. That's how the footage looks like. And it's something that I did with the next one as well. So I love reversing clips. Sometimes it's just make more sense to showcase the other direction of your flight, reveal some of those trees here in the background, reveal this whole area rather than flying with the original direction. Sometimes it just makes sense. You're always welcome to experiment, but make sure nothing is going backwards like a car moving backwards or something else, because it just doesn't look too nice. And here as well I am doing a speed ramping, and if you notice when we play the music, let me just play that. So as you can see, this speed ramping here is made exactly on the marker, so it happens just when the beat drops, and these markers are extremely useful for that specific reason. This was done exactly the same way as I showed you in the beginning. I just clicked a portion that I want to speed up by clicking Shift and B, then pressing Shift and B at the end of the portion where I want the sped up part to end, and this area here I just speed it up by 20 times or as much as I want, so it fits the music and the beat drop, and then I continue with the normal speed. Again, here we have a small section that I sped up by 20 times, and it's just so I can showcase more of that movement. I'm moving the drone upwards and forwards at the same time, and if I just play the regular footage, it's just too slow and you don't capture too much movement. When you're filming these large open areas, you have to move a lot so you can have dynamic footage, and the lack of this dynamic in your shots is not a good look. So I prefer to speed up some of my parts so I can showcase more of that movement, more of that dynamic in my footage. And here we have a little section that I want to talk about a bit more in depth, and that is this section here of the audio, which I muffled a little bit. As you can see in the effects tab, I have underwater, large room, and muffled. I played with these two. I didn't like how they sound, and I added this muffled audio effect, which is right here in the effects tab. You simply write muffle, and there you go. You just drag it over your clip and it's applied. I chose next door style B, and this just muffles the audio a little bit, so I just cut this section right here, which is 3 seconds long. I just cut it, and I also added this fast chopper sound effect. So if I remove this, you can hear. I think it's just a nice way to spice things up, and also to distract you a little bit from watching all of these fast-paced shots, and also a great way to showcase that you're shooting with the Mavic Air 2, show it in action, change of pace a little bit, and I think it makes a difference, and people like it. And I like it as well, that's why I did it. We continue here with the regular song, we continue with those shots. And again, I have this section sped up a little bit. It's sped up by almost 20,000%. So it's quite a long clip, and of course this section here, it needed to be really sped up so you can create this whole movement. You can capture it in a couple of seconds. Otherwise, it just takes like a minute to go from this place to this place. So speeding it up, it makes a huge difference in my opinion, makes a little bit of an impact when you're watching. You're like, whoa, how quick did you go from here to here? It's something that I really love doing. And here we have something else that I did. This is just one clip that I just chopped in 3 different pieces, and I removed some of the footage between those pieces. So here we had a couple of seconds which I removed. Here we had a couple of seconds which I also removed, and it just jumps right where the beat drops. And I think it also makes a little bit of a difference. Here I actually did a boomerang, which is something that I also love doing from time to time. I used a sped up portion of the video than the normal one, so regular speed ramping, which is right here. Let me play it once again. And when it's over, the thing you need to do, let me just remove that so I can show you. The thing you need to do if you want to create a boomerang like this, so it plays in reverse, the same clip that you have played plays back in reverse. You only need to copy it, paste it, let me just put it below my adjustment layer, and from here on you just need to create a new compound clip and reverse it. That's it. And from now on, this is exactly a mirrored version of this clip. It's just in reverse. So let me just play it once again. And I really like how this transition happens. It looks like a natural transition between this reversed clip and the next one. So let me play it once again. I just like how it goes straight to the next one. And here it's a rough cut between those two clips. I just deleted some seconds that were right here so I can jump straight to the next one. And that's it. This is a long shot that I wanted to end with, and as you might have noticed, I am trying to use as many different speeds and angles as possible so I can switch things up at all times. For some shots I have longer ones, like this one, which is 3 seconds long. This one is also 3 seconds long. These are my long ones, and the short ones are like 1 second long or 2 seconds long. And normally I do that so I can have a large diversity of shots, large diversity of angles, and also so I can keep the viewer interested and so the viewer can keep watching without being bored of these long shots. So that's pretty much how I do things. And the last thing I want to mention is that I apply a adjustment layer, which is something like this. You apply it over your shots, and whatever you apply to this adjustment layer is available for all the clips which are below that layer. So here I add my LUT, which I have used for color grading the footage, and if you see, most of these adjustment layers are cut, and that is because I adjust them accordingly to every single clip, because some clips require to lower the exposure, some clips require to play with how the greens look like, some clips require more work on the blue tones and stuff like that. So I cut them. Generally I add my preset, my LUT, to all of the clips, and then I cut according to the clips which I'm playing, and I'm just fine-tuning those settings so every clip looks good enough for what I think is good enough. And that's it. Those are the clips which I have used. As you can see, it's just 45 seconds or 42 seconds actually without my logo here. 42 seconds of footage, and so many different clips which I have used, so many different angles, so many different perspectives, and this is just my way of doing things. Like I said, there is no right or wrong way to do this. This is just my personal preference. I like to keep my edits short, sweet, interesting, with lots of movement, lots of pace difference, and lots of speed ramping. And I hope you found this video interesting, informative, and if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below. And there you guys have it. This is how I edit my Mavic Air 2 footage. I really hope you found this video informative, useful, and interesting. If you did, please blow up the like button and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. Help me get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, please. That would mean a lot to me if you do that. I would really appreciate that. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching, for all of your support. This is Mike from Drone Supremacy. Take care, everyone. I'll see you soon. Ciao.